T. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Less Known Classics. This is episode number 2169 and 2063. I have a Legion of Superheroes trade and a trade from Iron Man for this one. You're thinking, why the heck would you pick these two? Well, the Iron Man one involves time travel. That's mainly the reason for it. First up we have is Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, Volume 1. Up to. This book contains Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, issues 334 to 340, along with, get this, DC Superstar 17, probably a backup story of this one, and all new collector's edition C55. This book in particular, it's basically a giant-sized one-shot. That's what this book is. It comes toward the very end of this book. Basically, the way they put the thing is they put it... Let's see. Okay, they put it right after issue 236. The thing with this one-shot is that it's the wedding of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl. Yep, this is where they get married. It also involves a time travel plot. Basically, the whole marriage is basically a B plot. No, seriously. The marriage of Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl is a B plot. Yes, it's not the main focus of the one-shot. You would think two founding members of the Legion of Superheroes having their wedding in this issue would be the primary focus. Not really. Nope. It's basically a superhero coming back to the future, discovering it's been altered, and at this investigation, Wildfire apparently is the leader of the Legion of Superheroes at this point in time, because he doesn't like the politics. This is basically happening there. So as some investigation proves out, yeah, the future's been altered. And when they fix it, apparently people who were not with the time travel bubble apparently are completely affected. They're like, oh, it was altered? Okay, fine. It's next to one shot. I do like it. Now, what happens in these issues now? The writing in these issues is quite interesting. Now, Mike Grell himself does do some artwork here, but he does it for one issue only. He does it for issue 235, but mostly he does the covers. Yes, he does not do the interiors anymore. Nope, he just does the covers. Yeah, he does all those covers. Mostly the writing is done by Paul Levitz most of the time. The first issue in this book, 234, is done by Jerry Conway. Jerry Conway also does the backup story in issue 235, with Paul Levitz doing the main story. 236 is another issue done by Paul Levitz. Let's see, where is it here? Actually, he does do the story. 236 done by Paul Levitz and Paul Kupperberg. They did the opening story, and of course Levitz does the other two stories, with James Sherman on the first and third story. For 234, the artwork is done by Rick Estrada. The backup story, Trial of Legion 5, that's done by Jerry Conway. That's the only book thing he does for the book at this point in time. I think he does the book a little bit later. With, let's see. You have Mike Nesser doing the second story. It's the Monel story. The only collector's edition, C55.
Nikki, can you come out and help Charlie and Oliver straighten out the game system there, please?
Okay. Find the review here. Okay.
What's that? Yeah. Mom can't look it off the phone. Grandpa's up.
My apologies about that. I had to take care of something because my mother was on the phone. Anyways, basically, what I was saying, yes. Now, 237, 238, and 239 are done. Now, 238 is technically not in this issue for some strange reason. I don't know why. Yeah, it's something that's not really explained. Now, you probably would think, basically, that there'd be a reason why they just do, like, one page this one, and that's it. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Maybe it was a reprint. I'm not sure. Let's find out. $238. Okay. $238. Yeah, I was reading the book basically. And not even I know the reason why this book basically was not in here. Maybe it was a Oh, it is a reprint. Okay. So the Out Legionnaires, yeah, that's a reprint. That's a reprint from Adventure Comics 359 and the Legion Gang. Basically it's all 360. So yeah, it's a reprint. Yeah, so basically that was the reason why I wasn't here, because it was a reprint. But mostly Paul Levis does do the writing here. Interesting thing with 239, the co-plot of the issue is Jim Starlin. Yep, he does one story in here. Yeah, and 240 is basically like a story that has 3 stories in it. Actually, it's more like 2 stories. But yeah, the first story you have in here is mostly deals with like the Quantum Crystal. They deal with that for an issue. And there's also stuff related to a guy named Brandel, who is also, by the way, the whole time travel thing, that was all time travel thing. So we kind of have an early story for them, and we have basically the composite creature. I think it's from DC Special. I think it's from DC Superstar 17. Let me take a look here about that one here. Let's see. Okay. So I think that it probably was. Let's see. Yeah, it was. Yeah, basically, the thing with DC's Superstar 17, it's the first appearance of the Huntress. And you're thinking, which Huntress? The original one. Yes, and I've kind of discussed her early appearance before, so it's another story from there, basically. So just an early appearance of the Legion. And then basically, like, right after the story, then we deal with, well, there was some guy called the Composite Creature. Plus, love the artwork, love the font here. Wanted, dead or alive, the Composite Legionnaire. Yeah, and each story is like a double-sized issue. And from what I heard, this is kind of toward the period of time, according to Rob Liefeld, this is when the series started getting really good. And I kind of agree. So, plus, I love the artwork here in this book. It's so freaking good. So, they do this composite thing, and of course, this kind of comes to play. Then we have separately politics, where you have Wildfire basically reacting as, "You can't do this, Mr. President. Those are Legionnaires, berserk." Yes, but those Legionnaires berserk, but you can't just slap a reward on our head like common criminals. Criminals are not, youngster. Rewards offered by the UP for their capture. That's where the kid. If you stop me, I have to stop you. And Wildfire says this: "You're doing this because of politics, right, Mr. President? You don't care about leaders or the people. You're only interested in one thing: getting Earth Council's political support. Even though it's true, Wildfire, it's irrelevant. In past states, leaders have run unchecked." Yeah, the whole thing with this guy here. Yeah, there's a reason why this guy is here. Yep. And it's a personal matter. Now, the thing is with this guy is that this guy is personally despises the Legion. And here's the strange thing. The guy only appears for one issue. Yeah, this is the only appearance of the guy. Yeah, all about the composite stuff, and let's see. Yeah, so, and of course, well, they deal with the whole composite stuff. And of course, the guy is stopped at the end of the story. Then we have the Legion Super Secret. Oh, by the way, the last issue that Mike Grohl does as the interior artist. Yeah, the last one, because he doesn't do any other interior issues for this book. Nope, he just does the covers. Yes, for some reason, this was his last issue that he did. It's like he came back after leaving at 224, just this one issue. Actually, he just was doing the covers. He probably was asked, maybe because the regular art was unavailable. Yeah, so. Yeah, the thing with this book, these issues are, yeah, but it's basically these one-shot characters. The Legion Secret, all relate to Superboy. Yep. That's mostly what the story is. Falls there's a Brainiac, and then of course then we deal with this guy here. There's this guy who, yeah, there's this guy who puts the Legionnaires on trial. The reason why he does it relates to his son. No, seriously. That's the reason why he does this. Yeah. And here's the thing. The man's a prosecutor, and he's charging. He basically is like just ignoring the fact, oh, Legionnaires killed my son, despite the fact there's no evidence to support it at all. Now, you probably would think, yeah, the guy is a prosecutor, yes. But here's the thing. Now, if this was an Earth court, because I think this guy's probably supposed to be an alien. I believe so. He is. Yeah, they try to charge him, but here's the thing. He basically is acting completely irrational. And the judge should basically remove him. Because this is all due to personal feelings, because they think he thinks they killed their son. Killed his son, but nope. It turns out, nope, that was a big fat lie. And it turns out he's actually lying well. And of course, he's taken away. Yeah. Then we have the romance stuff, which leads into the wedding. Bunch of track stuff here with 236. Taking this guy called Wordsmith for one issue. Yeah. Then we have Mon-El's One Man War. It's a solo story featuring Mon-El, plus some gorgeous artwork here. You probably would think, who is the artist of this issue, you might ask? For 236. The answer? That's Joel Sherman. I believe. No, wait, hold on. He did. This is Michael Nesser. You might think, was this the only book he did for the Legion of Superheroes? No. This actually was his last issue he worked on, yes. But he had been kind of working on the book since 222, mostly. But after 236, mostly, but this was his last story he worked on. The opening story with Jim Sherman. He also, the last story was Words Not Spoken. Yeah, and then we have 237. Yeah, deal with that, and of course the Words Not Spoken. Yeah, that's all basically with the romance of Sun and Girl and Lightning Light, which has the two get married. And then you have the giant size issue. You have issue. Oh yeah, this is the only collector. This is basically with time travel stuff. Yeah, this is an excellent one shot. But you would think basically having the wedding of two of my primary characters of the Legion. By the way, second ever wedding happens in the series because the first happened in issue 200 of Superboy, where you had Bouncy Boy and Duo Damsel get married. And that happens toward the end of the issue. This is basically, you would think, founding members of the Legion of Superheroes, and their thing is reduced to a B plot. Yep, that's one thing that's kind of bad about this issue. Then we have a one-shot story where deals with this one guy. Now, for 137, you have this guy called Armageddon, who appears only in this issue. Yeah, and this guy basically blames RJ Brandon from the company. And he only appears just for this one issue only. Yep, and also was revealed in this issue that Lightning Lad and Center Girl resigned with this issue, so they get married. Though they do, in fact, get back into the team, no problem. Due to they were suffering from a member shortage, so they had to alter the charter in order to allow married couples on the Legion. Yes, because I think it was a writer at that point in time probably felt as though the whole thing of no married couples in the Legion was actually a bit outdated, so he probably decided to do that. Mm-hmm. Now, in this issue here, we have Alone Against the Common, which Legionnaire stands accused of murder. It's Ultra Boy. Yep, Ultra Boy. Then you have in this issue where he's on the run. He's supposed to the adult supervisor when they were younger. He comes back for this one issue. Yeah. And his name is Marla. And he had not appeared for quite some time in the book. Yes, prior to appearing in this one issue of Legion of Superheroes, his last appearance back in Superboy 147, which probably was it's a reprint issue. You could say probably Superboy 98 was probably his last appearance date. Yes, I'd probably say so. Mm-hmm. But even after this issue, he appears sporadically even afterwards. He appears for a few issues of Legion Superheroes Volume 4. He appeared in Legion Origin issue of Valor, which is basically... Now, after this story here, he would next appear in the first issue of Volume 4. That was his next appearance, which that came out in 1989. Yep, 1989. This issue came out in 1978, so he didn't appear again for 11 years. Good thing he didn't. And it's all about ultimately being framed for a crime they committed. And it turns out, it was actually some other group involved with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you had the return of this guy here, who was actually last seen a while back before this issue. Oh yeah, he actually had an issue where his girlfriend pretty much tried to brainwash Gilbert the Chainsman. This actually was his return to comics. Oh yeah, his last appearance was actually back in Superboy 221. But the thing is, his next appearance won't be until Legion Superheroes Volume 2, 277. So basically about, let's see, this issue came out in 1978. His next appearance won't be until for about 3 years. Yep, not for 3 years, but I'll probably discuss in a future Comic Corner. Yep. And as for his girlfriend, Camilla, she does not appear in this issue. Nope. She actually reported that she died. Yeah, it's something, though, that is mentioned in this issue that she died of flashback. Yeah, so they brought back this character to appear once prior to this, and she's revealed to be killed off screen. Yep. But yeah, there's also a story for Dawnstar in here, which is so fun. And I found this trade to be really good. What we're going to give this trade? I give it 10 out of 10 because it's pure fun. Alright, next up we have is some Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Where are you? I know I just read you last night. Let's see if we can find it here. I may have accidentally closed out. Let me take a look here. Now, what we're discussing is Iron Man Epic Collection Volume 15 Doom. By the way, let's see if I can do this here. Gorgeous cover. Yep, love this cover. This tray here collects issues 245 to 257 of Iron Man, annuals 10, 11, and material from annual number 9 for Captain America. These are your writers: Dave Michelinie, Bob Layton, Joy McDuffie, Danny Fingeroth, Randall Fritz, Roy Thomas, Dan Thomas, Roy Thomas's second wife, David Woolhall, Fabian DeCisa, Peter Sanderson, Glenn Harding, Evan Silic, Carrie Berry, and Rob Tucker. Bob Layton also has some artwork here with Delayed Gene Colan, Jeremy Jr., Rich Lusky, Jim Valentino, Tom Morgan, and Paul Smith. First issue involves basically Iron Man taking on basically Dreadnought. Also in these issues, I should point out that Iron Man is, at this point, I have not gotten to the point where he actually is how he got into the wheelchair. I do find out basically how he got in the wheelchair. Captain there shot him. Yes, his previous girlfriend he had. A woman he dated very, very briefly. Kathleen Dare. Yeah, for some reason they had her turn villain. It was probably just in the previous issue when he shot him. Yeah, so mostly put basically he deals with ramifications of being in the wheelchair. And apparently the only way he can walk is being in the Iron Man suit. This is before the AI stuff I mentioned the last time I talked about this. Yeah, and he's also parents by Whitney Frost. So, yeah, and then of course deal with in number 10 there's the Atlantis attack stuff. Yep, where they collect the entire story in here. Yep, the entire annual. There's also a Seven Crown here. Now, basically also the fact that, Tony is basically very paranoid if I can't walk. So he indirectly tries to ruin Rhodey's love life because the fact that, he can't walk, so Rhodey can't do much anything at all. And of course, he's kind of... Sorry about that. Yeah, he's kind of brought the trial for this. Come on. Yeah, for some reason, I'm trying to collect this one thing here, and it goes to something else. Yeah. Yeah, mostly Played battles, a bunch of robots. And then for 247, he basically goes to meet up with the Hulk. And Hydra. Well, actually, it's Joe Fix at that point. Yep, Joe Fix-It. Yeah, he goes to Vegas. And then 248, he might be able to walk again, but... Yeah, it's not exactly dealt with in here. Just basically Tony in a wheelchair still for a bit. And then after the trial wrapped up, he started walking again. basically with a crutch. And for 249 and 250, we have the rematch between Iron Man and Doctor Doom. We have their second fight, which happens in the course of 2 issues. And of course, 250 is a tie into Acts of Vengeance. So is 251. Yep. Also, it's time travel in here, which is so fun. By the way, 250 is also the cover of the trade itself, which is awesome. Yeah, and then the very next issue, right after he deals with Doctor Doom with the whole time travel and the space stuff, which is just pure awesomeness at its finest. And then, like, the very next... Oh, come on, seriously. Come on. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yes. And immediately after he deals with Doctor Doom, the very next issue, he deals with Wrecker of the Wrecking Crew. Yep, gets a fight with him. Just cuz. And then he fights Chemistro. Not of the Wrecking Crew. Basically, I think he's a... let me take a look at this here. I think he's a... I'm trying to remember whose villain he is. Let's see. Oh, he's a Iron Fist villain. Yep. Yep. He's an Iron Fist villain. Oh, he's Iron Power Iron Fist. He appears for this 1 issue. He takes him on this issue, and then we have Iron basically just being Iron Man, save people's lives, basically just doing stuff. Basically, this book is just really good here. Yep. He also has to deal with the Taskmaster. Yes, the freaking Taskmaster. He gives himself a haircut. We have these little spy stuff. Yep. Then we have Santa Claus. Then we have a double issue here where you have Iron Man take on this weird imp, and we have Crimson Dynamo in this issue. Yes, for some reason we actually have Crimson Dynamo in this issue number 255. Yep, and then 256 goes into space. By the way, the artwork's on by John Romita Jr. Now, unlike the present day stuff for John Romita Jr., I'm not a fan of the present artwork. This artwork is not bad. I do not have a problem with this artwork, despite the fact John Romita Jr. is not my favorite artist, but I think he does an okay job here. I think his artwork is a lot better than his current stuff. Yep. I love that goes to space here, and then we have, I think I gotta go with Samurai Steel for the last issue of the trade. And then the other stuff deals with Terminus Factor, which, yeah, Terminus Factor is simply put, this basically like Terminus take on the Avengers, which involves Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Avengers West Coast. Iron Man, Thor, Avengers West Coast, and Avengers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a quick 5-part annual. That's what in-year series annual. And then you have the, well, yeah, and then that's pretty much it for this one. But this book is really good. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this. Yeah, just a pure fun book. And I do recommend it. Just awesome. Okay, so that's a particular review. Oh, by the way, give the book a give it 9.5 out of 10. Okay, so that's a particular review. Next episode will be both free, which this one, I'm just going to go through both episodes. Just to get this one up to date. Yep, because they released a new episode today. I'm going to go ahead and get the one up to date, and then I'm just going to go straight to do One Piece, then Eden's there, and maybe if I get time, I might do Demon Slayer. If not, I may do it if I get time to do tomorrow or Friday at this point. Okay, next video. Bye.